Hello everybody, this is Mark of the Borderlands Hunt crew. Usually you expect Matt for the bonus clips, but I decided that I might want to show you guys the new list I made. So obviously, as you guys know, we were collecting every weapon in Borderlands 2, and we attempted to do a Borderlands 1, but sadly, because Borderlands 1 doesn't have very much information on it, at least in the prefix side, obviously mechanically there is a lot of information on it. We could not do the hunt to the full extent that we wished that we could. Like, if we wanted to get one of every gun, that would have been simple enough, but getting every single prefix would have been nigh impossible without some more advanced editing tools. However, luckily, Borderlands pre-sequel is pretty much the same game as Borderlands 2 in a prefix side. Obviously, it's a different game. It has its different quirks and its different drops and different items. But it's the same kind of building blocks, so it's able to reverse engineer a list, as you can see before you. Now you might be wondering why we have guns collected. Like Hyperion has 43 shotguns, Doll has 72 assault rifles, and we even have some that are already completed, but you don't have any more videos on the channel. And not only that, we don't even have a Borderlands, the pre-sequel YouTube set up yet. Well, the reason that is that me and Matt decided that because they are technically the same prefix and same guns in some cases, that we're going to count those as collected in this game. When we eventually do Borderlands 3 in like 40 years, we're not going to do that because they're absurdly different. But in this game, they are not only the same name, in most cases are the same exact code. So we're going to count those as collected. And in most cases, it doesn't really help with the uniques. Like, if you can see, the uniques only have 40 out of 374. Legendaries, we have a bit more. Class mods, we have 0. So it doesn't help too much with the hard stuff, but it does limit the amount of garbage we have to get. So we don't have to go clip every single assault rifle we're going to get, and that would help us out for a bit, because the most tedious part of the hunt is probably the first month, when we got millions of new items every day that we had to clip. So this should help it. And also, you know, if you want to see a let me go here, a attack carbine, you can go look at the Borderlands 2 channel. It's right there. So we're going to count those as collected. Also, as you know, we did not start with the percent page on Borderlands 2. I felt that would be a good idea to start with it. So I have counted all the total and all collected. Now this is suited to change because of a couple of reasons. One, I may have miscounted. I don't think I did. I double counted everything. So I believe I counted correctly, but I might not have, and we'll have to edit that as we go through the hunt. So maybe there is 29 old Hyperion weapons, and I just miscounted. Secondly, the wiki is not always accurate. So for example, if let's say Jacobs, for example, right? Jacobs shotguns have no prefix changes. Maybe it does in the game, and the wiki was just incorrect. We would have to change that. Correct. Okay. And we don't know that until we played the game. And me and Matt haven't even made a character yet. We're planning on doing it somewhat soon. But obviously at the moment we don't have a YouTube channel. We don't have set up yet. We haven't even started playing, etc., etc. We're most likely going to be doing it on PC. There might be a little console in there, but I bought the game on Steam. It was really cheap on summer sale. That's the reason we didn't do it last time, is because I didn't have the Borderlands 2 yet on my PC as well. My PC was really weak, and I didn't have the proper recording software. Now I do. Not necessarily top of the line, but good enough that I can do a 30-second clip. And honestly, then you'll be able to get our voice horn or Discord call. So honestly, it's better overall. So this is a 30% page, and I mean, honestly, for someone who hasn't even played the game yet, getting 50.91% of the guns feels pretty good. Now, as you know, with pre-sequel or with Borderlands 2, these aren't hard. These aren't hard. Submachine guns are hard, and what's that? We have another 200 of them. Uniques are hard. Whole new tier right here, Scav. So pretty much any bandit weapon, we have to get it again. Like even the Bada Boom. Bada Boom, we technically have all of them, and it's in this game, but all the prefixes are different because it's Scav instead of bandit. Hyperion is kind of weird. So we have almost all new Hyperion stuff because it's just the Hyperion from Borderlands 2. But old Hyperion, right here, is completely new. It's essentially a new manufacturer. There's a couple more rare shields. Luckily, most of the rare shields are just, there's one more for Scav, and I think that's it. And the rest of the shields that we don't have are either rare shields we don't already have. And by the way, if we get a rare shield in this, it counts for Borderlands 2, and vice versa. But most of the shields that we need are just like warming, which is the new element. Essentially like an alkaline, but it's for frozen. So I'm going to start going through the list now because you've seen this enough. It's practically the same thing as Borderlands 2. So assault rifles, obviously we have all the scav ones. I think all these are correct. Cryo, we need cryo again. So those are the only ones we're missing for Dolan Vladoff. Torg is always explosive, so we don't got to worry about it. Jacob's no element, so we don't got to worry about it. So machine gun. This is where it gets a little bit more tricky. Because as you guys probably know, elemental barrels suck really bad. And even just normal barrels kind of suck. But you can see a couple of these are missing, and those are from... Like, even though technically you can get a refill spark in Borderlands 2, we just don't have it yet. So they're the carrying over. But on top of that, anything that's slag is now cryo. So for example, fridge or the cooler might be a better example. So if we had all of the slag variants of these barrels, right, for new Hyperion, also known as just regular Hyperion, it doesn't matter because we still have to get the cryo one. And obviously we have frigid for the first three, which shouldn't be that bad to get. Now, I think this might be inaccurate on the wiki, but we'll find out. They say that new Hyperion has new grips compared to Borderlands 2. I think autocorrecting we might already have that. I'll have to look into that. But I know these three are new, and I think this one's new. But that might just be wrong when we play. We might find that out. Frosted. And then what's this? Scav. Yeah, Scav, so that's all new, obviously. Model 1 was almost done, but we have to get all the Hyper Beam. We gotta get Arctic. But I mean, you can see the example, right? We have one more Model 1 we had to get in Borderlands 2, but because of the new cryo element, we have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 we have to get for Model 1. Pistols. We'll get to Jacobs in a second. So old Hyperion, same stuff. Yeah. Oh, I think autocorrecting was on pistols. I think that's new on some machine guns. I think that's why I'm getting mixed up. So new grips, ice. Autocorrecting is just a grip we already had. Ice, scav. See, you can see the same patterns here. Now, Pepperbox is very interesting. So this is a gun that should never spawn. It is a Vladoff pistol with a Vladoff spinning barrel. And obviously, if you know Borderlands, Vladoff guns don't really need fire rate because it doesn't really do anything. It technically does, but in reality it does nothing, so it never spawns. But because the Claptrap Glitch DLC, these guys can spawn. Luckily, they're always purple, so we don't gotta worry about grips, and honestly, I'm not too worried about it. The only thing that sucks about it is that it's essentially a world drop within the glitch pool, so we'll just have to keep an eye on glitch. And also, I will say the benefit of glitch weapons, though, is that they're always purple. So if we get a glitch, Model 1 barreled SMG, there's a pretty good chance that it will be new. So I'm wondering if that might be a viable alternative to get a lot of these Model 1 barrels we don't have yet. Move on to shotguns. New Hyperion. For whatever reason, they have a new shotgun. Scav, etc. Teodor. This one I'm a little interested in. Because as you can see over here, the single, double, and triple shot have no grips. They have something called a title prefix, which essentially means when a grip spawns, it gets this instead. And I was wondering if a new Hyperion will get that. I haven't seen any proof on it, so we'll just have to see if we can find any grip, like delivery, focus group, or session, crowd prever, aggression, expansion. If we can find any of these with one of these grips, the chances are the wiki's correct. If we can't, and we find like a straight shooting focus group, well, that wouldn't be accurate, but you get my point. Then we'd have to add probably 3 more prefixes for the single, double, and triple shot. Because you notice this one is similar. fixated, double oven, 3-way, Hulk, pounder, and stalker. But it's not always true. Like Jacobs, the quad, and the Bushwhack coach gun, which is a double barrel, can still small fold the grip, so it might be fine. Sniper rifles, same book. New or old Hyperion is new. New grips for new Hyperion. That's Cryo, I betcha. Yep. Cryo. Jacobs, no element. Cryo. Rock launcher's probably going to be the same thing. Yep. Scav. Cryo. No element. Cryo. I mean, technically Tor has an element, but you know what I mean. Now, here is where it starts getting interesting, is from this point on. So, here's lasers. Lasers are super nice. So, you have, essentially you have Mullen 1 barrels. And then you have normal barrels. So it's kind of like SMGs, but they're way easier. So this is a blaster. This is essentially the name of the gun. This is the manufacturer. So these first 4, for whatever reason, are fire. So if you have a fire blaster, it can be one of these 4. I don't know what affects it, what actually picks which one it is. We might be able to find that out later. I'm assuming it's just some random part on the gun. But it gets one of these. But if it's frozen, I think this is frozen, this is shock, and I think this is acid. If it's one of those, there's only one. So if it's an acidic reverse blaster, it's always this one. If it's a frozen reverse blaster, it's always this one. So that's what this is. So these are the other barrels. They can be any element. This is the Mullen Fire Barrel. It can be any of those 4, which I think is going to be kind of a problem. But luckily, I think we can farm these at a low level where only Fire Elemental Barrels spawn. And it shouldn't be that bad if we just knock them out early. This is if we get an Acidic Mullen 1 Barrel. This is if we get a Frozen Mullen 1 Barrel. And this is what if we get a Shock Mullen 1 Barrel. Essentially, it is like a Mullen 1 SMG. But they only have their elemental names, which are the ones we get just all the time, so I'm not worried about that. So we got old, new, doll, Mullen, Tedior. I don't know if this is part of the name or not. It was in there on the wiki. I'm just going to leave it until we actually get a refrigerated. So I have no idea. Grenades are pretty basic. Cryo, Scavs new, Cryo. Vladov's kind of weird because most of the ones replace Slag with Cryo. But Vladov didn't have a slag grenade, so they just added it on there, which is pretty neat. Oz kits, these are going to be the... I guarantee you, unless we farm out lasers, like, really early, this is going to be the easiest page to get done. Sorry about that, I kicked my Lego bucket. So we have no prefix, and then if it's acidic, if it's arctic, if it's meteoric, or voltalic. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce that. But essentially it's no element, acid, ice, cryo, fire, and shock. Right? And I'm pretty sure all of these are equally weighted. If not, I think explosion might be a bit more weighted. But these are not Model 1 like shields. They should be very easy to bust out. They start spawning at like level 5. So we'll probably get these done before the first playthrough is done. And I think all of them spawn at like the same time. I mean, I could be wrong, but they all spawn before playthrough 2. I know that for a fact. And they can all be white or whatever. Maybe they have to be green for element, but I'm not too sure. We'll find that out. Class mods, not really much to talk about. It's just normal class mods. You have Hyperion, new class mod, Scav, Doll. There's not a single duplicate because they're all new Vault Hunters. So pretty easy. The only thing that's interesting to note is that the Hollow Node DLC added 5 new class mods, and 3 of them only have 1 prefix. I thought I messed up because I saw all 5 of them only had 1 prefix, but that's actually incorrect. Just these 3 have 1 prefix, and then I don't know the other 2. So I couldn't tell you, but there's 2 other ones that just are normal, and they have the 3 prefixes and no prefix. We'll have to look into that, though, because I'm wondering if they have the no prefix, because I think they always spawn as blue. So I'm assuming that that might be off the table, but we'll have to look into that. Either way, class mods. There's no Tiny Tina DLC ones. There's really not even hard legendary ones, so this should be knocked out like this quick. The only problem is that these spawn at like level 20 or 14 or something, so we're not going to get them as easy as class or Oz kits, but we'll still get them pretty quick. Shields, not too much to talk about besides the mono one, which sucks. This is probably the worst news in the whole run. But we got, you know, Hyrule, we already needed that, and then here's Warming. So I don't know if it's called Warming, is the thing. Because Gib's kind of unreliable in shield names. At least some of the times, but most of the time it's pretty good. But we have to just get a Warming shield. I know they exist, but we have to get a Warming shield. And then, figure out what it's actually called. I'm assuming they're all called the same thing, so it's like Alkaline's all called the same thing. But Warming, 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 Warming. Then this is what sucks. So even though Malon didn't have a slag shield, they still have a new cryo shield. Honestly, not that bad in most cases, but we have to get another Devouring, which is really bad. And then we also have to get another, I think no, it's not, is it Conquering? I'm not sure. There's another one that's in here that's not as rare as Devouring or Hyrule, but it's up there. I don't remember the exact name. So there's Calamitous. And then is it Steadfast? Mercurial? I'm not sure. But on top of that too, we just have to get all these. The biggest problem is when we get a Mono 1 shield now, instead of it being a 1 in 3, what we want, it's a 1 in 4. So any cryo shield we get, we need to make sure that we mark that baby down, and we do not miss it. Luckily, we're kind of just in, like, you check every single shield that drops ever, because of these rare boys. So I don't think it'll be too much of a problem. Not as much as the legendary shields later they'll talk about. So Extreme, that's the same. Ashen's done. Warming. Now, apparently, there is a, like, level... I found this in Gib. So there's, like, a really low-level shield called Dinky. I think it's a unique shield, but it's, like, a really shitty basic shield. So I put it in here. I probably should put it in the uniques page, but I'm not sure if I should. So it's just there for right now. I'm not even sure if it exists because it's in Gib. And it was just a really basic, low-level, like, level 0 basic boy shield. That's, like, pretty bad. So I'm assuming that maybe Jack has it in his inventory or something and it counts, or maybe you get it from like a quest like Claptrap's gun. I don't know, we'll find out when we play the game. Worst case scenario, we'll just remove it and then I'll minus it from the percent page. Okay, uniques. This is where we start getting real interesting. So Wallop is new. See, Hail, we have all the Hails, but the Cryo's new, so we got a new Cryo. So this is the Crybaby. So Crybaby is kind of like a Borderlands 3 item, where we have the Crybaby, which is the gun, and then we have all the prefixes. But also it can have a double prefix called the Ringling. So it can have a bloody Ringling Crybaby. So it's kind of like two separate guns in this sense. In Borderlands 3, we would call it like a separate prefix. So like you could have like a Gatling Gatler. Or you can have a Gatling Majestic Gatler, right? So you have a prefix on top of a prefix on top of a title, or just a prefix on top of a title. It's real confusing if you don't know what I'm talking about. Don't worry about it. Essentially, the Crybaby is going to be a little bit harder to get. Ice Cream is fine. Oh, and if you notice this, take a drink every time you see World Drop, and you will die. Wet Week, this is the worst gun in the game. I'm calling it right now. If you know the Fermented Edge, which is also in this game, and what's great is it's missing all the grips, so we got to start practically over from there. The Wet Week is worse than the Fermented Edge, believe it or not, unless the wiki's wrong, because it spawns from an enemy that doesn't always spawn. When he does spawn, he's like King Mong. He spawns in different areas, and on top of that, he drops a sniper rifle. And when he drops a sniper rifle, which is a 1 in 3 on top of that, sorry. Most of the time you're going to get accessories. Most of the time you're going to get element. So the chance of you not getting an accessory and an element to get a grip is pretty rare. And on top of that, you have to get a grip that we don't already have. Luckily, we don't have any of them yet. So, who knows? Maybe it'll be easy. I freaking doubt it. I will say it has one more prefix than the Fermented Edge. So I'm hoping hoping to God that this is like a title prefix or something. So whenever it gets a grip, it just gets this, because that would make the wet week like not even the easiest, but it would make it a very easy thing to farm, because if all we had to do was get one grip, all the elements and accessories, we can knock that out in a day. If we have to get all the grips, that's going to take a week to farm. Plunket, not same, it's a guaranteed drop, so that's good. So it's not as bad as Firm to the Edge, but it's about as bad as Sloth. Razorback is easy. It's also, if you notice, Borderlands, the pre-sequel loves its guns, so it's just one prefix, and I love them too. So Razorback always had melee, so it's always that. No prefix, machine. Smasher, it's an item you start in the beginning of the game. Pretty sure we can get that. Basic pistols. Gwen's Head. Also, another thing you'll know and you'll love to hear is, like, obviously, Octa, we have that. That's fine. We have all the Gwen's Head, but technically, for our rules, it's Gwen's other head. It's exactly the same in every single way, but it's called a different gun, so we have to get it again. So in case you thought we were, like, cheating out, don't worry. There's so many guns that are reskins of other guns. And not only, like, oh, like, the Razorback is kind of similar to the blank. No, I mean, like, literally the same gun in the code, but it's named something else. Like Sledge's Shoddy, if I can see that. Oh, I think that's in Legendaries. Let me just skip to Legendaries real quick, just so I can show you how ridiculous it is. Sledge's Shoddy. It's not Sledge's Shotgun, it's Sledge's Shoddy, so it's a new gun. Thank God it only has one prefix, because that's a world drop too. Shotguns, you know, just more basic stuff. I'm not going to go through every single one, because you get the gist. I don't know anything interesting about most of these. Meat Grinder kind of sucks, because it spawns at everything, but it has at least a drop location. Blah, boom, boom, boom. Interesting, there's only one unique rocket launcher in the game. Probably we're going to add more if the game didn't suck. This laser can be in all elements. This one's a little bit interesting, so I'll talk about this for a second. So there's a mission called Zapped. Zapped 1, 2, and 3. So Zapped 1 gives you one element, Zapped 2 gives you another element, and Zapped 3 gives you a third element. I'm quite sure that the Zapped are always the same, and that's what it looks like. But I'll double check. I'll farm the fire one for a little bit, because since fire fire laser guns can spawn with 4 prefixes, it might be the case that it might have more prefixes. But if so, it's a 1 in 25 chance that I get that one. And if I farm it for, like, I don't know, like 5-10 minutes and I keep getting the same one. And luckily, that's just a save quit. You don't even got to talk to anyone, because it's just in your inventory. So it'd be a real quick farm if we had to do it anyway. I'm not too worried about it. Lasers that are unique and legendary love just having one prefix. These are usually elemental locked. So all of these are easy. You just got to beat the quest once. Grenade mods, Kiss of Death we already had, but we need the cryo. A bunch of other grenades. You're going to love this. So the rapid release is a 1340 shield. Now, I did not go through every possible shield. Oh, Sister Ariel, did you sneeze? That's my dog, everybody. So I did not go through every single one. This is more in Matt's domain, so I just put them all on there. Chances are we're probably only going to need like 9 of them, but I bet you the rare variant is going to be on there, because of course it will be. But there's that. Then we have the Slammer, Asteroid Belt, Deadly Bloom, which we already had. These two are world drops, so that's good. I don't know why the Fable Tortoise is on here. Let me double check this real quick. Yeah, Fable Tortoise is on there, so I'm going to need to edit that real quick. You're about to see me do a live edit before I forget. So let's go to Shields. 53. Uniques. And that is going to get deleted. Delete. Let me just undo and redo that and make sure it actually. Yep, okay. Sorry about that. I was actually wondering, because I was doing the legendaries. I didn't see the Fable Tortoise on there. It was just accidentally put on here. So that's how that got messed up. And then I'm just going to fix these real quick. You guys are probably wishing you had Matt now. Matt doesn't fix the sheet mid-video, does he? Anyway, so Shield of Ages, Haymaker, Sunshine, those don't spawn with elemental prefixes or anything, so that's great. Pretty sure the rapid release... Okay, so... Yeah, they drop because of oversight. So it comes from a mission, and I think... I could be wrong, but I think it's a mission item. And if that's the case, I honestly don't think it'll be that bad. Even though it's bad, but you always get it, and you could just save quit, look in your inventory, leave, save quit, look in your inventory, and you could do it like bam, bam, bam. You don't gotta talk to anyone, you don't gotta move or anything. So honestly, I'm not too worried about that one. It's the next one I'm worried. Yes, there's two 1340 shields, if you caught my drift there. Oz kit's easy. These are all no prefix easy. Starting weapons, very basic. When you start the game, we'll just start a Wilhelm, Athena, Claptrap, and Nisha. I'm going to play Wilhelm, most likely, and I think Matt's going to play Athena. I might play another character for when we gotta get class bonds later. Like, I'll probably do Wilhelm up to level 80 or 70 or whatever the ending is. I don't really know because this game sucks, but we're doing it anyway because LOL. And then I'll do, like, a Claptrap to level 30 and have him just so I can grind up all the class bonds, including the legendaries ones, which are right here, which we'll get to in a second. Those are really easy to get, though, so I'm not too worried. I'm more worried about normal class bonds than legendary ones. All of these are basic. See, this is an example, though. Hammer Buster 2. It's a new Hammer Buster. Same gun. I think it pierces now. Kerboom. Same gun. I think the grenades might be, like, a little less use time. Essentially, they're all, like, buffed or slightly nerfed guns. Shred of Fire. Exact same gun? Same god. Mazer Time, Falsecade, Invader. I think... I'll need to check that, but I think we have those. Omni Cannon. I'll leave it for right now, but because that might be new. Because I'm not sure if those are... I mean, they look new. Or they look old, so I think those are fine. Omni Cannon, Skull Masher, Magma's Volcano Rescan, Pitchfork, Longnail. I think Longnail is actually unique. Zim. This is our Infinity for the run, essentially. Luckily, it always spawns in Chili, so we don't have to do all the elements in the grip. So, honestly, I'm not too worried about it. Blowfly, Logan's Gun, Luck Cannon, Maggie. 99 Fragum is a, kind of a Herald reskin. It's really not. It looks like a Herald. It shoots like a shotgun. It's alright. Paladin Revolution is your Infinity reskin. Not really, but kind of is. Shooterang is actually just a Gunnerang reskin. It does have the effect where it shoots bullets around in a circle. So I give it that. Viral Marketer is, I don't want to say a worse conference call, but essentially the Borderlands 2 one is a mix between the Viral Marketer and the conference call. Because Viral Marketer is always corrosive, mounts it around. Conference call is all elements, but, you know, it just shoots normally. So the one in Borderlands 3 is kind of a combo between those two. Striker fucking is garbage. Flare is whatever. Flacker is alright. It's pretty good if you get a perfect one. It's actually God if you get a perfect one. Sledge, Cheat Code, Fatale, Hellfire, Torment. This is a Bane reskin. Doesn't look like it, but it is. Singy is pretty good. It's actually its own unique gun. Badaboom, of course, is not. You can't even rocket jump with it in this game, I've heard. Cryophobia is a Pyrophobia reskin that's actually good. I don't even know what that is. Mongol. Kanda's laser, I think, is pretty good because you can crit with it. Longest Yard, I think, is busted. These are the lasers. Shields. This is the worst part about legendaries, I think. Because this is the problem. Shadow Trap, that's fine. Lost Legion Power Shoot Noob, that's fine. All of those are fine. And I hate legendary shield farming in general. But the problem is World Drop, World Drop, World Drop, World Drop, World Drop. World Drop, World Drop. So all of these, besides like the MORQ, and honestly it might even be in there, so World Drop, we do have the grinder, so we're going to have to grind shields. But when you grind a shield, and even if you get a guaranteed legendary, it can be any of these. And it's less than a 1 in 20 to get the elemental prefixes. And like the Avalanche has all of them. So that's going to be really bad to get all the avalanches and all the shooting stars. I don't know why there's so many world drops in this game. I think they were planning to give the drops to enemies later on because they did have at least one more DLC planned out, and I think they had more than that. So that could be it. There's also unattainable guns that we'll get in a second, which I think we're going to drop from a Valentine's Day event, and then also may have drops from that DLC. But still, it's ridiculous how many world drops are in this. Also, the MO. This is all matte 100% because I don't know how to teleport. We're obviously allowing teleporting for farming and stuff. For basic gameplay, I'm probably not going to use it. I'm probably just going to walk around in normal. This is just if you want to farm something in particular by yourself on like a stream or something. But same thing, there might only be 9. There might be all of these. We don't know. It's in a chest and super far away. So that's going to take forever to farm manually, so we kind of have to teleport. I also think it's a one-time drop, so he's going to have to dashboard that. Leech. We love the Leech. Now there's another one. Fantastic. It's also a world drop. World drop, world drop, world drop, world drop. Fantastic. So, you know, you want these grenades. Same thing with the shields. Got a low freaking chance of getting them. So not only, like, we gotta farm shields, right? Grenades. We don't need that many. We only need, like, you know, one, you know, just a couple, 12, 13. We only need, like, 13 of them, right? Sorry, it's 10 p.m. I'm not super up. So we only need a couple of them. But the problem is that when you get a grenade, there's a high chance you might get a fire bee or a bonus package or a quasar. But to get a 4 season on top of getting the one you want, it's very rare. Oz kits ain't that bad. They all actually have a drop, and they only have like 5. Besides Eddie, which is no prefix. Which is funny, because I feel like that would be the one you want to farm the most, because it's like the best one in the game. These are alright too. They're all pretty good. They all got their uses. Class modes are really easy. They drop from Empyrean Sentinel, and they drop from Digistruct Madness Round 3. That's it. There's no tubbies. There's no pearls. That's what we can look forward to. So thank God. But a lot of grinding farming. So this is the complicated page. So this isn't technically every weapon that can't drop, but these are just the ones I've noticed. So these are shift code weapons. These are technically in the game. They dropped at one point. You gotta buy a season pass or some other item of Borderlands. I think all of these were season pass from Tales of the Borderlands. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I bet you probably got one of these each time an episode came out, because I think there was 5 of them. So 2 things. 1, if we can get this. We can't, because even if the codes were farmable, I don't have Tales of the Borderlands, and they went bankrupt, so I can't even buy the game anymore. 2, if we could farm them, we would have to make a new character, farm it, delete the character, make a new character, farm it, and you'd have to input the whole... We're not doing that. Simple as that. But we literally, I think it's impossible to get them. These are weapons that just don't drop. I think all of these were from, like, the... Believe it or not, I think all of these were going to be in the Valentine's event. But, the Flying Maiden is in the base game, but it just doesn't drop. I mean, it's not really a big deal. And honestly, it's just another world drop shield. We don't have to worry about it. And it's not cool. It's not interesting. It's just an Impaler reskin. So that's everything, guys. I'm not sure if it's 100% accurate, but I think it's pretty close. So, me and Matt will start doing this at some point. We don't know when. When we do, we'll put a link in on the channel. We'll direct you guys to it, and we'll start doing that. We're not done with Borderlands 2, but, you know, we're at the point where we're getting practically nothing. There are some items that we can still grind out, but a lot of the stuff's really hard. So we're just taking a little break with pre-sequel. And trust me, we're going to get tired of pre-sequel, and we're going to come begging back to Borderlands 2 soon enough. So hope you guys have a good night. I will see you in whatever next item clip I have. Goodbye.